What's going on, people? Wish your man the white B. Once again, big shout out to my doggy 31BT for coming through boosting up the coins. So, off the rip, man, the boxing gods must salute Tszyu, and may he travel well. Bash. Okay, man, I don't even know what to say here, man. This fight here was reminiscent of Bakoli versus Jared Anderson. Yeah, Tszyu hit this dude with good shots that could have easily been. I'm going to play the frame by frames in a second, but he hit this cat with shots here that could have easily been highlight reel knockouts and come back. But it's life, I guess. You just sometimes you land and sometimes you land and the guy gets knocked out, and other times it bounces off. Right? Look at Parker versus Bakoli. No doubt Jared Anderson landed some of them same shots, but this is how it works sometimes. But listen, man, this cat Fundora, he's really, in the first fight, he didn't seem as confident. This fight, most likely after Matazaliev, one of Habib's nephews. Habib's nephews, they did something wrong to Tszyu. He ain't been the same since. Yeah? He's got the same spirit in him, but his chops has gone. He's getting knocked out in the first round now. Knocked down, in the first round. He got up, though, and he fought hard. But I think ultimately he did end up quitting. Is it wrong to have done that? Listen, man, I wasn't in there. He was taking a whooping. This cat here, this Fundora dude, he reminded me of The Walking Dead. This skinny dude, he was wading forward. It's like he had no heart in his chest, Fundora. What do I mean by that? Well, it was like it wasn't producing no lactic acid. He was just swinging big shots, rocking. I'm talking about Fundora here. He was walking forward. Any shot that hit him bounced off. Yeah. He's winging his own combination. Any success Tszyu had, he was getting a free piece back and Fundora stepping back, and I'm like, whoa. So after that Matazaliev, I think Fundora had too much respect for Tszyu. Fundora's always been a frustrating kind of boxer, but it looks to me like he's kind of coming into his own now. Combining that with the fact that he knew Tszyu can be hurt. When a man's never been down and never been knocked out, you're more cautious. But now he knew it's possible. It's crazy how confidence works. What you know about your opponent can completely change the dynamics. I think Tszyu started a bit jittery, which is natural after having been proper plastered in his second to last fight. But he worked into it. Come on, I'm gonna play the clips now, the frame by frames. I'll make the screen big for you, man. I felt bad for Tszyu, man. He can't catch a break. He took that first Fundora fight because Keith, once upon a time Furman, pulled out. He shouldn't really have taken that on 4 weeks' notice, but he was high on the I'm old school, I'll fight anyone anytime he plays, which is respectable. But we know what happened there. He then jumps in there with Matazaliev. No one wants to fight Matazaliev. No one wants Matazaliev. They don't want him. End of the day. No one wants Matazaliev, man. No one wants Habib's nephew. Tszyu says, oh, I'm old school, I'll get in there. And that happened. And we have to praise him. Whilst it hasn't worked out, there's two ways you can look at it. You can say, well, hey, that's why you should pick your fights. But at the end of the day, we don't want to see. It's one of them, though. He's not going to make no. I don't know how much money he's made already. But he's got a fun style. That's one thing you can't take from him. It's like, he's not as scrappy as Gatti. He's more refined for me than Gatti, but it's that same element. He's going to have a go, and he might get clipped. And he's fighting top level dudes. To be fair to him. Where does he get knocked down? Yeah, the guy Fundora was just like a zombie, man, all over him. Where is it? Where's the knockdown coming? Tszyu's just having a go. I'm sure there's a knockdown around here somewhere. Where is it? Is it there? I don't know where it is, to be fair. It can't be there. I must have passed it already. I wrote it down as well. That's annoying. Don't play with me, man. Come on. Can't be there. That's cap. It's end of round 1, wasn't it? So it can never be there. Here it is. 36. That was it. Oh, come on, man. Okay, let's have a look at this now. So Tszyu, he's having a look. It's so long, and he's southpaw as well, Fundora. It's hard to nail him down. It's like you've got to. If you box here, it's actually quite hard hooking up anyway. It's really hard to lift your shoulder up. Most of the time, you want to hook down or on your line, trying to hook up. It's almost you have to slap it. Look, Tszyu here is slapping it, whereas Fundora's bent his knees and he's drilling right down the middle. They both connect. Tszyu's arms a bit. Tszyu's having to stretch. You see his arms stretched out. He's slapping with it. He's not getting his knuckles on the end. Why is he stretching? The guy is 7 foot tall and he's a zombie. Whereas Fundora's bent right over in perfect position because he's longer, and he gets the better of it. You can see look at Tszyu's chin now. Tszyu's chin twists there. There's the torque. And he ends up on the mat. Now, and you see Fundora gets really excited from that. That turns him on. He obviously been thinking in his camp. He's been thinking, yeah, whoop-de-whoop. This guy, I can hit this guy, I can hurt this guy. And when he realises that, it kind of went left from there. It didn't start too good for Tszyu, to tell the truth, but it certainly went left. It didn't get no better from him from there. I'm trying to find, there should be a punch here that Tszyu lands. There we go, that's it, look. Tszyu, he's always having to overreach, because this Fundora guy is just too big, man. He's way too big. He's always having to overreach, Tszyu is. He's always having to almost slap, and his arms are wide open. But he slaps, and nonetheless, he catches Fundora. Right there, you see it? He catches him, twists his bonds. And that could be a knockout in another realm, right? Instead, Fundora basically don't move backwards, and he's throwing his hands again, man. There's another one from Tszyu. So Tszyu just clipped him, yeah? Tszyu's bowling for the ashes, hits him again, right on the end of his beak. Any of these shots in any other realm could have put this guy out, the zombie. Clips him again, bowling for the ashes, bounces off. Look at Fundora still on him. Tszyu's like, I can't believe what's happening here, man. You having a laugh? This guy's on my ass. Normally, yeah. After catching someone with 2 shots like that, right on the end of their beak, within a second or two, you'd at least get a reprieve. The guy's going to back up and have a look. Fundora just had no respect. Look, that missed. Look, Tszyu's bowling for the ashes again, but it misses this time. But it don't matter. Fundora's on him. Look, he can't catch a break. He's all over him. It's horrible. It felt like but honestly, I felt bad for Tszyu watching this, because he's got the spirit. It's not like, you know, when you watch Lorena versus Okoli. No one feels sorry for Lorena because he's a punk. He punked out. But Tszyu's actually trying to have a go, and he's stuck in a bad dream with the Walking Dead zombie. Look at him, look at this guy, look. Tszyu's constantly having to think. Normally, if you catch someone right on the end of their beak here, you get a few seconds to have a think, right? You've earned it at that point. I think you're on the end of your chops. You'll give me a few seconds now at least. So I've got a bit of time. Fundora's on, he shot, he lands, he's on him, and I've got a whole timeline of him, and these are just the ones I found from the highlights. But I felt bad for him, man. Bad dream looking ass. What can you do in these end times? Okay, so let's see what this one should be as well. Fundora and Tszyu's normally the pressure fighter, but Fundora's unusual. Normally big lanky guys, they want to box with you, keep it long, but Fundora, people have criticised him, saying, oh, you should use his jab more. I think he's come into more of a formidable opponent. He's so tall relative to the weight class. It's going to be hard for it. It's a bit like Adamez versus Shiraz. Yes, Adamez won the rounds, but Hamza's so tall, it made a lot of what Adamez was doing much less effectual. You see the shots coming, you've got bird's eye view, and you've got the range, and it's hard work. It's really hard work. Here we go. There we go, look. So Tszyu, I think he takes a shot to give one there, or he parries it maybe. He half parries it, and then watch. Come on, people. Come on, man. Right? You've seen 3 big shots now, twist his bunts. In any other state of time, Tszyu could have won this fight by knockout. Look at that there, look. Clipped him right on the end. What more do you want? And even as Tszyu clips him, Fundora's drilling the right hand. You see it? With his backhand. Let's see what Fundora does now. See, Fundora he don't even take a step back. Fundora's on him again. No, Fundora's on him again after landing that shot. This is wicked, man. Look at Tszyu. Look at Tim. I feel bad for Tszyu, man. I'm not going to say he quit. I might put it in the title for the clickbait, but I'm not saying he's a quitter, because he took a whooping, and it takes. I mean, yeah, you can't say Tim Tszyu's old school. The old school man would have got through it and got knocked out. I believe they'd have found a way. You've seen Ali covered over on the ropes kind of thing, but I think Tszyu knew where it was going, and maybe his team said to him, "It's better to save you for another day." There was no, on this night, I'm not sure what Tszyu could do, and I think Tszyu and his team thought that as well. You've hit him with some cracking shots, and they've all bounced off. So what are we doing here now? What are we doing here with the Walking Dead zombie, man? Yeah? You didn't bring no silver with him. He needed silver. This was a vampire zombie. And some holy water on his gloves. This regular schmegular Everlast was no good. He needed ancient, silver-plated, holy water inspired boxing gloves. This generic rubbish was no good, man, for this zombie here, man. Way too big and way too strong. Had no respect. And we've got one more clip to play, and then we'll show the quick gate. Apparently it's here. 3, 4, 4. Okay. Let's have a look what happens here then. Okay, Tszyu's pouring off. Here comes Fundora. Tszyu's a solid boxer as well, really. He does a lot of the basics well. You can't really... There's a few bits you could tweak, but it's not like he's gappy and you can say, oh, he's wide open. Here we go. Look at that there, look. He's leant right in. Bang the right hand. Look at that. Right on his beak. Right on the end. It's not your forehead. Your forehead's the best place to take a shot, but if all the shots I've selected here for you, man, have been bosh. It's on your beak and your head's twisting. Tszyu stepped right in. Watch. His feet are out. He stepped right in, leaned in, twists Fundora's head right round. What does Fundora do? Is Fundora backing up? Let's have a look. Let's see what Fundora does. Oh no, he's coming back in again. He's coming back in for more, man. That's not right. He's not right. Look at Tszyu. Look at Tszyu's face. Tszyu's thinking, what the what's going on here? What's going on? So yeah. Cracking fight though. There's another little right hand from Tszyu that hits him on his. Cracking fight, old school fight. I'll say that. Both men came to fight. Tszyu was in a bad dream, and then I'll show you the last bit I've got, which is where this is sad from Tszyu as well. Really, they ended the 7th. This must have been where the 7th ended. Look, Tszyu's. In fact, we'll play this. This is the last frame we have of the 7th round, the final round before Tszyu retired. Tszyu's bowling for the ashes on the ropes, and Fundora don't take no back steps. Tszyu's looking at the floor. He's trying to rock and roll. Oh, right on his beak there from Tszyu. Tszyu held it. There's target practice, man. The zombie looked all over him. I think the referee's having a look, maybe. Tszyu's covered up. Yeah, it's heavy bag time now. Proper heavy bag time. Look at this here, man. Heavy bag time. Yeah, he's getting boshed everywhere. I think the bell must go. Yeah, the bell goes at this point. And that was the last we saw of Tszyu. And then the next frame we have is... Yeah, it must be here. This must be where the sequence is. Because at one point his fans, I assume they're Aussie fans, probably. Maybe not, I don't know. But anyway, that cat looks like an Aussie there. He's got a bit of concern in his face, but then it switches to... this. Tim's sitting there, obviously, and they've retired him. I've patted him on the head. Yeah, so it all looks like a bit of a myth to him, and I get it. Listen, at the end of the day, and I'm going to show you this now, but Tszyu's a fighting man. He lost fighting. He didn't lose like Lorena. He didn't lose like Jamel Charlo versus Canelo. He lost having a go, and you can't really blame him, man. You can't. Yeah, you can ask, oh, he should have carried on and got up and carried on, but he was never winning that fight. Is the problem? Yeah, he's still an argument. He could go to the bitter end, like Nigel Benn versus what's his name, McLennan, for example. That is another level of having a go. But was he on the gear? We don't know. Anyway, the point is, I don't really mind people turning up, having a go, landing good shots, and the guy's all over you. It's like, well, what are you supposed to do? Get knocked out? Maybe you can argue that if you really want to, but he had to go, man. He was in there. He was all over him, and Turkey came out, which I don't like personally. Turkey came out reacting to Tszyu, saying, "I said to you from the beginning, Tszyu does not deserve to be on Riyadh season or Ring magazine card. he can be useful as a sparring partner for a champion in Riyadh season. Now, the reason Turkey's beefing Tszyu is because Tszyu said, no, I don't want to do any of that Saudi thing. I like fighting in the States or in Oz. Now, I get the jokes. At the same time, Turkey, what I don't like is, in this one here is, when you paid Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, Barboza, Canelo, Skull, Ryan Garcia, and Wally Romero, when you paid them an extraordinary amount of money and you charged $80 a pay-per-view, and we watched that shit, and what he didn't do, Turkey should have come out and said, Ryan Garcia, you are a sparring partner. That would have been the time to say it, because they were sparring partner. They were sparring sessions, every single one. I've had better spars than all of them fights. Fact, documented on this channel, no doubt about it, for nothing. Okay, that's a fact. So Turkey should have come out and told them, man, you're sparring partners, because that's what they look like. Bad sparring partners too. You can't clown a man who's turned up, rolled the dice, arguably against his own interest. He shouldn't have fought Fundora the first time. The rematch was only because Tszyu is old school. That's the only reason he took the rematch. There was no need to do it. Keith Thurman's begging for a fight. I would have preferred to have seen that. He probably would have got boxed up by Keith Thurman, but at least it's a big fight and it's a fun fight. The Fundora fight didn't really need to happen. I think Fundora might be champion. That might be why. Let me check that actually. Let me check if Fundora is Tim Tszyu Boxrec. If Fundora's champion, that makes sense outside of him just wanting to get back after losing the first fight. But let's check that fact. So it is. So it was for a world title. Either way though, he won it back with Fundora. He had a go. It was an exciting fight. No fans are disappointed, apart from maybe wanting to see Tszyu get knocked out cold and have more of a go, slightly. But I'm not going to sit here and take that from him. To be fair, I've seen worse people quit after not having a go. He gave it his best. He knew it. The writing was on the wall, man. He was getting some serious harm done to him. We were barely halfway through the fight, and Fundora was just getting going, man. The big Walking Dead zombie looking ass, man. Come on now. So Turkey's blasting Tszyu, and Tszyu isn't the problem here. Stinkers are the problem. I've got no issue with someone losing, having a good fight at all. Dubois lost and he had half a go. His technique's awful, but he had a go. What can you do? It's the people Turkey needs to blast, on his roster or not. Hamza versus Adamez. You can talk about the weight, you can talk about the hand, but that was a sparring partner performance, right? Tszyu went out having a go, and he was about to get splattered. Okay, he was trying though. He was in a bad dream. There's no other better way to put it. So I want to see consistency from Turkey. I don't want to see, what's the word? Kind of black versus white. I don't want to see this side of the streetism. Oh, these are my fighters and they can do no wrong. And you can say, well, YB, Turkey did call out. Who did he call out? Oh, he did call out the stinkers. He didn't name them by name, though. He gives Shakur some jip. He didn't put it on Canelo. He put it on Skull, but he hasn't put it on Canelo for not giving it a go, not having a go, and walking at Skull. He hasn't had a go on Haney or Tom and Jerry's been generic. He should have been naming names, right? Ryan Garcia, for example. Instead, Turkey came out after that fight and said, oh, don't worry, Ryan, we'll back you forever. Well, why would you back Ryan Garcia but not Tszyu? Outside of the fact that he's not on your roster and he's been perceivedly hating. So I don't like this here. He had a good go, man. He had a good innings. He didn't jack after being knocked down. Because you best believe, Tszyu could have easily gone in there like Devin Haney and just ran around, or Ryan Garcia, better yet. And there's no doubt Tszyu could have lost being Ryan Garcia. Oh, I've been knocked down in the first round or two. Now I'm going to back up and have a look. He could have done that. And Turkey was sucking Ryan Garcia off. Right? So Tszyu went out having a go. So we can't do this here. That's dead. Boxing needs proper fights, and we can't be lambasting people who came and had a go, whether or not they won or not. The lambasting needs to be for clowns who listen, Tszyu versus Fundora, I could watch that fight again. I could watch it next week. I could watch it the week after. No one is watching any of the Ryan Garcia, Stinko de Mayo fights ever again. That's where Turkish focus should be on. Not clowning dudes having a go and getting clipped and getting popped. So salute to Tszyu. What's next for him? I still wouldn't mind the Keith Thurman fight for what it's worth. I'm not sure Keith Thurman won it. Keith Thurman wants a belt. But I'm not sure Keith Thurman's at the belt level. Keith Thurman knocked out some stiff, what do they call it? Some jock. Some Aussie jock. Yeah, but he's not no level. Tszyu's been beat a few times now. This will be a step up from the Aussie jock that he beat. Right? So get Tszyu in there with Keith Thurman. I'd like to see that. I've been talking about it for long enough. It should be winnable for Thurman. If Thurman's going to beat Fundora, he's got to beat Tszyu. And I'd like to see Tszyu get a payday for what it's worth. He's took a lot of risks, unnecessary risks, and he's paid the price, and he deserves to be compensated. When you think about Ryan Garcia, who got 20 mil, yeah, for that trash with Rolly, Tszyu deserves to get a little piece of bread. And he'll come in there with Thurman and he'll have a go, and he might get knocked out again, or he might get stopped on retired again, but he'll have a go. I don't think he'll go in there and punk out like the rest of the Riyadh season man did on Stinko de Mayo. He won't punk out. Yeah, that's what he won't do. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, people. Smash the like button, subscribe, like off the bell, 100%. There's no doubt about this. Some people stop it. Johnny Bad.